Hi guys, so we are on to day 2 of the Brazilian fairy tales folklore, and this one, I haven't read this before, How the Toad Got His Bruises, so this is going to be very exciting because I'm going to find out something I didn't know. Here we go. And also, before we even begin, apologies for the dog barking in the background. He is also excited to know this, but he's been shut out of the way, so he would like to come and play too. So you're bound to hear him in a minute. Here we go. Once upon a time, ages and ages ago, the toad had smooth, silky skin. In those days, he was a great gadabout. Now, gadabout, for anyone that doesn't know, means that he liked to party, he liked to go out and about, just generally was never in his own home. It just says he could never be found in his own house. If anyone had a party, he was sure to go, no matter how far away from his home it was held or how long it took to get there. One day, the toad received an invitation to attend a party in the sky. "You never can get to this party," said his friend the armadillo. "Do you know how slowly you travel here on earth?" "Wait and see whether or not I can go to the party," said the toad. Not far from the toad's house there lived a big black buzzard. No one liked the buzzard. He was very unpopular with all of the birds and the beasts. The toad hopped over to the buzzard's house. The buzzard was outside the door making music on his violin. "Good morning, friend buzzard," said the toad. "Are you going to the party in the sky later?" The buzzard replied that yes, he was planning to go. "That is good," said the toad. "May I have the pleasure of your company for the trip?" The buzzard was delighted to have the toad seek his company. It was a new experience. "I'll be charmed to go to the party with you," replied the buzzard. "What time shall we start?" "We'll start at 4 o'clock," said the toad. "Come to my house and we'll go on from there. Be sure to bring the violin with you, though." Promptly at 4 o'clock, the buzzard arrived at the toad's house. He had his violin with him, of course, because the toad had actually asked him to bring it. I'm not quite ready to go," the toad called out. "Just leave your violin by the door and I'll step inside. It'll only take me a minute to finish with my toiletries and getting ready." The buzzard laid down his violin. He waited and waited for the toad to get ready, but he did not hear a word from the toad. Finally, he got tired of waiting, picked up his violin, and started off. When he arrived at the party, he was a trifle late, but he explained how he had waited for the toad. "How foolish of you to wait just a minute for the toad," said his hosts. "How could a toad have ever got to a party in the sky? When you asked him here for a joke, because he's such a great gadabout. Just put your violin over there. Come and join the feast." The buzzard put down his violin. As soon as no one was looking, out hopped the toad. He was laughing from ear to ear. "So they thought I wouldn't come to the party. What a joke. How surprised they will be to see me here." There was nobody at the feast who was as grand and gay as the toad. When the buzzard asked how he arrived, he said, "I'll tell you some other day, not right now." Then he went on eating and dancing. The buzzard wasn't having a good time, though. He wasn't enjoying himself, and he decided that he would go home early. He went away without saying goodbye to his hosts and without taking his violin with him. At the end of the party, the toad hopped inside the violin case and waited for the buzzard to take him home. Nobody picked up the violin, and the toad began to very much worry. He almost wished he hadn't come. After a while, the falcon noticed the violin. "That violin belongs to Buzzard. He must have forgotten to take it home. I'll carry it back for him." The falcon flew towards earth with the violin. The toad shook about terribly inside the violin. He got very tired. The falcon, too, got very tired. "I'm not carrying the violin down to Buzzard's any another minute," said the falcon. "I was foolish to offer to carry it in first place. The buzzard's no friend of mine." He let the violin fall, down, down towards the earth. "Oh, little stones, oh, little stones, get out of my way," called the toad as he fell. The little stones, they had deaf ears. They did not get out of the way. When the toad crawled out of the wrecked violin and violin case, he was so covered with bruises that he could hardly hop home. The buzzard never knew what became of his violin or why the toad had lost his good looks. To this very day, the toad showed his bruises, and he is entirely cured of being a gadabout. The end. The next one is truly one of my favourite stories from folk tales, and it is How the Tiger Got His Stripes. Once upon a time, ages and ages ago, so long ago that the tiger had no stripes upon his back and the rabbit still had a long tail, there was a tiger who had a farm. The farm was really, really overgrown with underbrush, and the owner sought a workman to clear the ground for him to plant. The tiger called all the beasts together and said to them when they had assembled, "I need a good workman at once to clear my farm of all the underbrush. To the one of you who will do this work, I offer an ox in payment." The monkey was the first one to step forward and apply for the position. The tiger tried him for a little while, but he was not a good workman at all. He did not work steadily enough to accomplish anything. The tiger discharged him very soon, and he did not pay him. Then the tiger hired the goat to do the work. The goat worked faithfully enough, but he did not have the brains to do the work well. He would clear a little of the farm in one place, and then he would go away and work on another bit of it. He never finished anything neatly. The tiger discharged him very soon, also without paying him. Next, the tiger tried the armadillo. The armadillo was very strong, and he did the work very well. The trouble with him was that he had such an appetite. There were a great many ants about the place, and the armadillo would never pass by a sweet, tender, juicy ant without stopping to eat it. It was lunchtime all day long with him. The tiger discharged him and sent him away without paying him anything. At last the rabbit applied for the position. The tiger laughed at him and said, "Why, little rabbit, you are far too small to do the work. The monkey, the goat, and the armadillo have failed to give satisfaction. Of course a little beast like you will fail." However, there were no other beasts who applied for the position, so the tiger sent for the rabbit and told him that he would try him for a little while. The rabbit worked faithfully and well, and soon he had cleared a large portion of the ground. The next day he worked just as well. The tiger thought he had been very lucky to hire the rabbit. He got tired staying around to watch the rabbit work. The rabbit seemed to know just how to do the work anyway, without orders. So the tiger decided to go away on a hunting trip. He left his son to watch the rabbit. After the tiger had gone away, the rabbit said to the tiger's son, "The ox, which your father is going to give me, is marked with a white spot on his left ear and another on his right side, isn't he?" No," replied the tiger's son. "He's red all over, with just a tiny white spot on his right ear." The rabbit worked for a while longer and then said, "That ox, the one your father's going to give me, it's kept by the river, isn't he?" "Yes," replied the tiger's son. The rabbit had made a plan to go and get the ox without waiting to finish his work. Just as he started off, he saw the tiger returning. The tiger noticed that the rabbit had not worked so well when he was away. After that, he stayed and watched the rabbit until the whole farm was cleared. Then the tiger gave the rabbit the ox as he had promised. You must kill this ox," he said to the rabbit, "in a place where there are neither flies nor mosquitoes." The rabbit went away with the ox. After he had gone for some distance, he thought he would kill him. He heard a cock, however, crowing in the distance, and he knew that there must be a farmyard near. There would be flies, of course. He went on farther, and again he thought that he would kill the ox. The ground looked moist and damp, and so did the leaves on the bushes. Since the rabbit thought there would be mosquitoes he decided not to kill the ox. He went on, and finally he came to a high place where there was a strong breeze blowing. "There aren't any mosquitoes here," he said to himself. "The place is so far removed from any habitation that there are no flies either." He decided to kill the ox. Just as he was ready to eat the ox, along came the tiger. "Oh, rabbit, you have been such a good friend of mine," said the tiger, "and now I'm so very, very hungry that all my ribs show, as you can see yourself. Will you not be a kind rabbit and give me a piece of your ox?" The rabbit gave the tiger a piece of the ox. The tiger devoured it in the twinkling of an eye. Then he leaned back and said, "Is that all you're going to give me to eat?" The tiger looked so big and savage that the rabbit did not dare refuse to give him any more of the ox. The tiger ate and ate and ate until he had devoured that entire ox. The rabbit had been able to get only a tiny morsel of it. He was very, very angry at the tiger. One day, not long after the rabbit went to a place not far from the tiger's house, he began cutting down big staves of wood. The tiger soon happened along and asked him what he was doing. "Oh, I'm getting ready to build a stockade around myself," said the rabbit. "Haven't you heard the orders?" The tiger said that he hadn't heard any orders. "That's strange," said the rabbit. "The order has gone forth that every beast shall fortify himself by building a stockade around himself. All the beasts are doing it." The tiger became very alarmed. Oh dear, what shall I do?" he cried. "I don't know how to build a stockade. I never could do it in the world. Oh, good rabbit, oh, kind rabbit, you're such a very good friend of mine. Couldn't you, as a great favour, because of our long friendship, build a stockade about me before you build one around yourself?" The rabbit replied that he could not think of risking his own life by building the tiger's fortification first. Finally, however, he consented to do it. The rabbit cut down great quantities of long, sharp sticks. He set them firmly in the ground about the tiger. He fastened others securely over the top until the tiger was completely shut in by strong bars. Then he went away and left the tiger. The tiger waited and waited for something to happen to show him the need of the fortifications. Nothing happened at all. He got very hungry and thirsty. After a while, a monkey passed that way. The tiger called out, "Oh, monkey, has the danger passed?" The monkey did not know what danger the tiger meant, but he replied, "Yeah." Then the tiger said, "Oh, monkey, oh, good kind monkey, will you not please be so kind as to help me out of my stockade?" "Let the one who got you in there help you out," replied the monkey, and he went on his way. Along came the goat, and the tiger called out, "Oh, goat, has the danger passed?" The goat did not know anything about any danger, but he replied, "Yes." Then the tiger said, oh, goat, please be so kind as to help me out of my stockade." "Let the one who got you in there help you out," replied the goat as he went on his way. Along came the armadillo, and the tiger called out, "Oh, armadillo, has the danger passed?" The armadillo had not heard of any danger, but he replied that it had passed. Then the tiger said, "Oh, armadillo, you have always been such a good friend and neighbour. Please help me now to get out of my stockade." "Let the one who got you in there help you out," replied the armadillo as he went on his way. The tiger jumped and jumped with all his force at the top of the stockade, but he could not break through. He jumped and jumped with all his might at the front side of the stockade, but he could not break through. He thought that he would never in the world would he be able to break out. He rested for a while, and as he rested, he thought how bright the sun was shining outside. He thought what good hunting there was in the jungle. He thought how cool the water was at the spring. Once more he jumped and jumped with all his might at the back side of the stockade. At last he broke through. He did not get through, however, without getting bad cuts on both his sides from the sharp edges of the staves. Until this day, the tiger has stripes on both of his sides. The end. And that's the end of today's folk tales from Brazil. And I will see you again tomorrow. I hope you've had a great day so far. And join me tomorrow. Bye.